Alright, so now that we are aware of our data, the first analysis that I want to make here is basically analysis by country. I want to know that in which countries how much we have sold and which countries are our best market and which are not. How to do that? Let us take a look. So first of all, let us press Alt key on the keyboard, on the keyboard, so that you have this top ribbon here, and on this top ribbon please click on this insert. And once you are here, you will see that there is an option of pivot table. So this pivot table is basically the tool that is going to be used in all the data analysis, and this tool is so powerful that it can answer most of the questions that we have regarding our data. So just click on the pivot table here, and here this tab is showing you that what data has been selected. The pivot table has selected all the data, and the next argument they are asking you here is that where do you want this pivot report to be placed, new worksheet or this existing one. So I would say new worksheet, and then I will click here. Ignore this data model thing, we are not even aware what is that for now. So I will just click on this OK here, and here you are in this pivot table. That is the standard view of this pivot table. So I will first zoom in. Here on the screen will be zoomed in, and this panel here on the left can be the size can be increased by clicking here and dragging, and you can similarly make it small as well. So here we have basically all the columns that were available in our Excel sheet. So if you can take a look at it closely, it is starting in the same pattern that was transaction date followed by product ID, product brand, product name, retail price, and if you scroll down you will see that all of the same columns are appearing here. And what you can do with this data is that you can drag this data from here just by clicking here. Just click on any of the field that you want and keep it clicked and drag it down here into the box you want to. So with box, what I mean is that if you click here in the rows box, the countries will summarize as rows here. If you click here, if you drag it into the columns, the countries will summarize as columns. And if you click it back to this filter section here, you will see that countries are now put here into a filter section where you can select one or multiple of them. So for now, what I want from this data is that I want to see the sales by country. So I will bring this store country to rows here. And the next thing that we want to know is that what values do we want against each country. So I actually want sales revenue against each country. So I will click on the sales revenue and drag it down to values. So now you can see that I have a summary of countries and the sales revenue against each of the country. So it is starting with Canada as 33,000, followed by Mexico as 147,000 and USA 364,000. So first of all, what I need to do is that I need to do some formatting on these cells. So I will just click here and I will right click on this and I would say sort, and in sort I would say largest to smallest. So I can see the USA on top because we have made the largest sales in USA, followed by Mexico and Canada. And what I need to do is I need to do some formatting. I don't want to see the decimals really. So I will right click again and I will go to this value field settings, and here I would do the number format. And in this number format, basically it is a simple formatting but for pivot tables. So I'll click on number and I would remove the decimals to 0 and I would use comma as a separator, and then click OK and click OK again. And you can see that all of the cells within pivot table, even the ones which were not selected, have been given the same format, no decimals and the comma in between the numbers. So that is it. Within just a click of the buttons, we have actually found out that how much sales we have made in each of the country of USA, Mexico and Canada. The next thing that we need to do is that in the we have already found out the sales by country. The next thing that we want to do is that we want to find the sales after country. We want to find out the sales by city as well and by state as well, and that is not a problem. You can find the sales against any of the criteria that is given in this particular data, and you can do the similar thing for that as well. So for example, if I can just click on the store country here and drag it away and bring in store state as well. store state now, you can see that we now have all the states that were available in the data, and the sales is also broken down by states as well. So you could do that as well. And if you have to look at the data by a city, you can just drag it out and bring in the city now. So you can summarize your data on country or state or city very easily, or by any other parameters that is available in this data. So for example, by gender of your customer, or by date of birth, or by product brand, any of them. So that was it. That was a very good introduction, that how you can summarize your sales by country. I will go back to country for now. Store countries here. I will drag it down here, and you can see that we have sales by country. And in the next lecture, we are going to cover that how we can bring in all of them at the same time. So we should have the store country as well as store state as well as store city, all of them together in one place in one pivot table. So let us stop here in this lecture, and we are going to do that in the next.